Grey Wolf Entertainment presents the WWE Elimination Chamber special with Simon Tackler and Nims Azua.
We're rolling here with a man who isn't just an Australian pro wrestler or an Australian WWE superstar. He's an Aussie icon, the host of the Grayson Waller Effect, Grayson Waller.
What a day. We just had the press conference. I've got a wet shoe still, the wet sock. But that vibe, I always said the Aussie fans bring it different. And that was exactly what I was expecting. That was fantastic.
Absolutely, and you were pumping him up. You stole Corey Graves and Michael Cole's job.
Yeah.
A better job, maybe.
I don't understand spending that much money flying these idiots over when the best journalist in the WWE is Grayson Waller. I should have been out there in the press conference. In fact, I was offended that I wasn't asked to be part of it. But I guess that's what we do as Aussies sometimes. If we're unhappy about something, we actually do something about it. We don't talk about it.
That's it. Just take over.
You grin and bear it, man. I mean, we've seen you so far. You've been in Sydney. You've been doing the entire media junket. You've actually been doing more miles than Taylor Swift has, quite frankly. I mean, she only kept it to Melbourne and Sydney, but you've been continental, man.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Of course she only does half the work. You know, goes out and sings the same 7 songs that she plays every time. I'm not impressed, but the truth is everyone's talking about Tay-Tay in Sydney, big show, but the biggest show in Australia this weekend is Elimination Chamber. The biggest star this weekend is Grayson Waller, the Aussie icon. So we ain't worrying about what's happening in Sydney, and that's the first time I've ever said that. Usually I wouldn't disrespect my home city, my favourite place, but we're putting on a show that no one else can compete with.
So, man, everyone's talking about Cody Rhodes finishing the story, doing this, doing that. I feel that he's trying to get the Grayson Waller effect rub by you speaking to him tomorrow night at Elimination Chamber. I mean, the guy doesn't even want to wrestle. He wants to actually sort of bask in your glow a little bit.
Let's talk about this. Like, he's the first ever 2-time main roster guest on the Grayson Waller effect, and that's for a reason. It's for 2 things. Number 1, because he obviously wants the Grayson Waller rub too, but number 2, I'm all about the biggest stars being on my show. And Cody Rhodes right now, arguably, is the biggest star in the WWE. And I understand he wants to finish his story. He's got this sob story. He's got the crowd cheering for him. I'm so bored of it. It's like you had your chance, you lost. And I think it's time he acknowledges our tribal chief. I think it's time he understands that The Rock is the biggest global star in entertainment. And maybe it's time for him to move aside. The biggest main event in WrestleMania history, Roman Reigns, The Rock. I was so excited. I know a lot of wrestling fans were too. But then 7 idiots on Twitter, you know, who still live with their mum, going online complaining, and I'm like, it's just frustrating that we're not going to get the biggest main event of all time. But I have a feeling, you know, Cody and Roman is going to be a spectacle. But I have some questions to ask him about it.
Now, Grayson, I want to ask you, we got a good friend. He works in Sydney for a company you know well, Rose from PWA.
Oh, God, that ranger. Oh, thought I was done with him.
We've seen what's happened with you and him in the past. We saw what happened today with Michael Cole and Corey Graves. I do want to say we also do some commentary. What is it with you and commentators clashing? How do we stay on your good side? I don't want to.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, I'm all about talking, and you guys are obviously very good talkers. If you weren't good talkers, you wouldn't be here interviewing me. But if you talk the talk, I think you got to walk the walk too. And I think sometimes, you know, people go a little bit too far. Like, just because you have a microphone in your hands doesn't mean you're on our level. And a guy like Rose acts all tough sitting behind a desk. He looks like Ed Sheeran, Ed Sheeran, trying to talk to me like I'm someone. And I don't mind saying something about that. And, you know, you saw me on Sunrise, same thing. You saw Austin Theory in Western Australia yesterday. Like, what we do is very difficult, you know. And we've been flying so much. We're grumpy. We're tired. We've been working out. Like, if people ask disrespectful questions, we have no problem going back at them. And so far, you guys have done okay. So hopefully we don't get to that stage today.
I'm really hoping that. So quickly, before we wrap it up, you mentioned your close tag team partner, Austin Theory. A-Town Down Under seems to be a combination that no one seemed to want, but we're getting. What's next for you guys? Tag team gold? Because the Judgment Day have been holding those belts
for a very long time.
For a very, very long time. But when do you get to have your shot?
See, here's the thing. Like, me and Theory, it's a natural fit. We're very close friends. I think we're very similar. You know, we're very athletic. We're very handsome. We're very humble. But we get along as I'm teaching him about the Australian culture. I got him listening to Ocean Alley. I got him listening to some Sticky Fingers. He loves the beachy vibes. You know, I've got it taking him around in Australia today, and he loves this country. And like, it's nice to be able to travel around all the travel we do with a mate. But I think we're ready to start taking over properly. You know, we've been in big positions. He's been in big positions. Obviously, beat John Cena at WrestleMania. And whether it's together or individually, like, we're always going to be looking out for each other. And whether that's tag gold, whether it's me, US, maybe it's Theory, world champion, who knows. We're going to make sure we take over the whole company, though.
I'd say best of luck for the Grayson Waller effect tomorrow, but you don't need any luck. You can absolutely kill it. And good luck at Chamber.
We're going to put on a show, the biggest show in Australia this weekend.